Alright guys, welcome back to the Kicking Clinic, where we're all about kicking, okay? So today we are finishing up our 5 elements. We've gone through plant foot, kicking position, foot to ball contact, and our follow through. And now we are ready for the final one, the alignment and the approach, okay? So this is kind of 2 for 1. Make sure my line is good and thick. There we go. Okay, so alignment and approach, okay? So what we're talking about, we'll talk kind of about the alignment first, and we'll get into the approach. Okay. So with the alignment, there's a couple things that we need to really focus on. Okay. The first key to a good alignment is that we're not going to focus on our uprights at all. Okay. So kind of forget that they're even there. They're there just kind of for our initial finding our target line. Okay, that's kind of what we're doing. Okay, so we're not going to worry about the uprights at all. We're not going to try to kick in between 2 uprights. What we're going to do before we even take any steps back, we're going to find a target. Okay, and then that'll establish our target line. Okay, so this target line is a point higher and further than you'll ever be able to kick. Okay, so if you're in high school, most often it's probably going to be some tree that's behind your uprights. If you're in college, you might see like a sign off the upper deck or something like that that you might be able to use. But the point here is you're finding that point that's further and higher than you can ever kick it. And what that does is it kind of takes out the idea of distance for us. All we know is that really I'm not going to be able to kick it that far, so what I have to do is I got to line up on that target line, and I'm just going to kick max effort every time. So what ends up happening is I don't really know if it's a 50-yarder or a 25-yarder or an extra point or what it is. All I know is I'm lining up with that target right there. I'm going to take my steps back and I'm going to kick it right straight down that line. Okay. An example of this, to be honest with you, a throwback story. When I was in high school, I set my high school record with a 47-yard kick, not that long of a kick, but a 47-yard kick, and I didn't find out how long the kick was until the next day. I didn't have a clue, because I just had my target line, took my steps back, and I just kicked it. And to be honest with you, I had no clue until the next day when I was sitting around talking with my dad about it. Okay, so it's a really good thing. It really helps your mental game. You're not worried about all those 50-yarders and all that stuff. Okay, so the first thing there is we got a target line. Okay. The second thing that we're going to really kind of worry about is when we take our steps back, we're really focused on our target line and staying in line with that. And the second thing is when we take our side steps, okay? Now, this is where you'll have to kind of tinker around and make it your own. Me personally, I took 3 steps back and 2 to the side. I would probably say that's the average. But I've seen 4 steps back, 1 to the side. I've seen really big steps, really small steps. To be honest with you, kind of make it your own. We'll talk a little bit more about our steps here in a second. But our alignment, as we take our steps back, we're in line with our target line, and then as we take our steps to the side, we're 90 degrees or perpendicular to that target line. Okay, so our side steps are 90 degrees. 90 degrees to target line. Alright, 90 degrees to the target line. Okay, some people have gotten confused. Some people I've worked with have been confused and think they're 90 degrees from the baseline of the field, and that's just not right, because when you start kicking off a hash, you get all crooked. Okay, so let me draw a picture, because I like drawing pictures. All right. Okay, so this is our football field, right? So this is a football field. There's our uprights. There's our tree. Okay. So my target line, say I'm kicking an extra point right down the middle, right? My target line is probably going to be that tree limb that's right down the middle, right down the pipe of those uprights right there. So I'm not really worried about my uprights at all. All I'm doing is I'm kicking bing, 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 straight down, straight to that target line, okay? And we'll see that it goes straight down the middle. Now, same thing holds for if we go to the hash, okay? Target line, target line, target line. I'm going to harp on that a lot. Alright? The only thing is our target moves, okay? So say I'm kicking over here from the right hash, right there. Now, instead of being straight down the middle of my tree, my target is this limb that's sticking off on the side here. So instead of being down the middle, I'm just kicking at that tree limb over there. So same thing, straight down the middle, okay? It's not a very good drawing. It should be straight down the middle. My drawing wasn't straight down the middle. But straight down the middle toward my target line, okay? And so that way I'm really not worried about my uprights at all. I'm just kicking straight at my target line, okay? Really, really helps our mental game out. Alright? So now, let me show you what this looks like, what this 90 degrees looks like. So we got our uprights right there. See, we're kicking right there again, alright? So my target line's right there. My steps back, 1, 2, 3, and a straight line to that target line right there. Straight line to that target, okay? Then I'm going to go 2 over. 1, 2, okay? So I'm 90 degrees. 90 degrees right there, okay? Now if I'm kicking over here, my steps back, 1, 2, 3, in line with that tree limb right there. Now I'm perpendicular to that target line, so I'm going to have to kind of angle back a little bit, okay? So make sure that you're being careful with that. That's a real easy thing to mess up right there. Obviously, it's going to be a harder angle the closer up you get, okay? Now that's the alignment. Now the approach, let's see, erase some of that so I can put this in here. Now our approach, couple things here, we're straight at the ball, okay? Alright, so we are straight at the ball, okay? So our approach here is straight at the ball. Right there, boom, straight at the ball, okay? A lot of guys, especially young guys that are just starting to kick, for whatever reason, they really like to round out like that, okay? They kind of what I call banana into the ball, okay? The bad thing about that, if you banana in and kind of round out coming into the ball, it really makes it hard when you're kicking position. You end up getting way too close to the ball, can't rotate your hips like you want to, and really just can't generate any power, okay? So the first thing we got to do, make sure you're going straight at the ball. Straight at the ball, okay? Like a laser. Number 2. We have to have a rhythm, okay? We have to have a rhythm. Again, a lot of these young guys that I work with, they're off like sprinters. I mean, it's like the ball snapped and phew, man, they're gone. They look more like wide receivers running a post route or something like that. They're just freaking firing off the ball, and it's like, I'm slow down. What they end up doing, they get to the ball and they can't slow down their momentum. They just kind of power right through the ball, and it ends up being a real sloppy kick. Okay, so we have to have a real steady. I actually prefer a little bit of a slow, gradually building up rhythm. I'm gonna talk about it here in a second. But this is when you approach. It really doesn't matter. You can have a jab step, or you can not. Okay, me personally, I had a jab step, and what I found in my experience is people with shorter legs, kind of like I have real short legs. I'm not that tall. I'm only maybe 5'8", so I'm pretty short. Short legs tend to have a jab step. People with longer legs, like I was working with a kid, he was probably 6'1", maybe 6'2", and I actually took his jab step out because he was just getting too close to the ball. So he's what we call a two-step approach. He goes right into it. So as he's a right-footed kicker, he goes right step, left step, and he's kicking. Where I have to take a left step, a little half jab step, right foot, and then left foot, okay? So that really doesn't matter. But here, the thing that is important is our rhythm. And so if you're taking a jab step, what I kind of tell my clients to help them slow down is that if you have a jab step, it's going to be a slow, fast rhythm at the end. So you're slow, jab step is slow, and then you're fast, you have a big explosion at the end. Or if you're just a two-step approach guy, you're just slow and then fast, okay? So I'm gonna pull you back. Let me see if I can demonstrate this thing here. Alrighty. Get your phone enough back, maybe where you see me. Alright. So, I'm standing there, my ball's right over there, right? Put that T right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a T right there, okay? So what I'm going to do in my jab step, slow, slow, fast at the end, okay? See if I can do it a little bit better. Slow, slow, fast, okay? Something like that, okay? Now if you're doing a two-step approach, you're slowly fast at the end, okay? Real big power step there at the end. So slow and then fast. Then we go into the kick, okay? I hope that looked, I hope you could tell. Hope you could tell what I was doing there. But anyway, so our rhythm is slow, slow, fast, or just kind of slow, fast. What you're thinking is you're building up to it. If you take off at a dead sprint, life's going to be real hard on you when you actually get up on top of the ball. You're going to kind of just run right through it, okay? So, with all that being said, that's about it, okay? That's about it for our alignment and our approach. All right, so in our alignment, just to review our alignment, we pick a target line. We don't try to aim between the two uprights. We actually pick a target line and forget about the uprights, okay? It's really good for your mental game. Target line. Our back steps are right in line with that target line, and then our side steps are 90 degrees to your target line, okay? This is this is really easy. Probably the easiest part of kicking because the ball's not snapped. There's nobody rushing at you. There's no hurry to do anything. This is kind of the one time in kicking that you can really take your time and really be obsessive compulsive. And that's what I always tell my guys. Be really obsessive compulsive with this, okay? Double checking your alignment and making sure you're 90 degrees. Obsessive compulsive, this is the one time that you can really take your time and you know, because all these other things happen so quickly that you know you kind of have to go off of muscle memory a little bit. Here you're really conscious of this and can be OCD about it. So really take this seriously, okay? This is I see a lot of problems start right here. Okay, so alignment, target line, straight back, in line with your target line, 90 degrees to the target line, not 90 degrees to the baseline. All right, and then our approach, make sure we're straight at the ball, okay? Don't be bananaing out or anything like that, straight at the ball. And then we got to make sure we got a nice, slow rhythm, okay? It's a slow building up to fast rhythm, okay? When we get into kickoffs, we'll see this rhythm, this building rhythm a little bit more because we have more space to do it. But as far as place kicking is concerned, we still have this rhythm. It's slow, slow, fast, or if you're just a two-step guy, just a slow, fast. Okay, big explosion at the end. Okay, but that's about it. That's all we got for the 5 elements. And truth be told, guys, honestly, this is everything you need to know in order to grow as a kicker. Okay, take these things seriously. Really go over them and really be conscious. And remember that we use these things when stuff goes wrong. We use these things. Remember each of these 5 things, and that's it. This helps you kind of approach the kick from a systematic way, okay? So instead of just hoping that you feel what went wrong, you have a bad kick, or even if you have a good kick, what I want you guys to do is go back one at a time and say, how was my plant foot in that kick? Was it good? Was it bad? What happened? Okay? Figure that out. Was it good? That's great. Then we'll move on to the next thing. Was my kicking position good? Was I in the best kicking position I could possibly be in? Okay? And then if you were good, then we'll move on. You know, if you're bad, note it, and then figure out kind of why you were bad. Same thing with foot to ball contact. How did my foot to ball contact feel? Was it good? Was it bad? How did my follow through look? Was it up toward that left shoulder like it's supposed to be? And then finally, you know, a lot of times you'll find if one of these things goes wrong, a lot of times the problem originates kind of in our alignment and our approach. Our first step was bad, or alignment might be off. But what these 5 elements really do is allow you to take just a systematic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 approach to diagnosing your kicks, okay, and figuring out what's going on. So please use them. They really help you it makes kicking a lot easier, to be honest with you. Okay, but anyway, today it was all about the alignment and approach. Coming up next, we're going to take a little time talking about flexibility, okay? Kickers have to be really flexible. So we're going to take a little time talking about flexibility over the next few videos, and then after that, maybe we'll get into probably get into some troubleshooting about what's going on, okay? So keep kicking. If you've got any questions or comments, post them. I'll put my email up here so you can check it out, or send me an email if you want to. But bottom line, keep kicking. Keep using these things to diagnose your kicks, okay, guys? Keep working. See you next time.